What up, and welcome to another episode that looks a little different for some reason. Well, I got a new drone. Oh shit, you want to hear about it, don't you? This is my new DJI Mavic 3. I've had this drone for probably a month and a half now. I've used it mostly for commercial work, mostly using video, but for some photography as well. Here's some sample footage from some of my recent commercial shoots. Roll it. This video is not sponsored by DJI in any way, but I am ready and eager to sell out. In all seriousness, DJI's products are usually always an upgrade to my production gear and usually a downgrade to my credit score. At this point, you should probably know that I am a Part 107 certified drone pilot. I have heard that the FAA likes to patrol some drone review YouTube channels for compliance. Just a friendly warning before the FAA comes knocking on my door and gets these hands. Side note, did you know that you could legally drop stuff from your drone as long as you're not getting paid to do it? It seems insane to me. You could drop a poopy diaper on somebody's roof as long as you're doing it for free. Anyway, this drone has been a significant upgrade production-wise. The drone I had before this one was the Phantom 4 Pro, which was and still is a great drone. But with the Mavic 3, I'm getting better image quality and a smaller drone. So here's the specs that I think will matter to filmmakers and photographers. You might want to sit down for these. At the time of shooting this video, it costs $2,050. So, I don't know, buy it and then hide all the sharp objects from yourself. Our main focal length for the Mavic 3 is 24mm. It does have a 7x zoom for both video and photo. What makes it a 7x zoom and not a 6x? Only God knows, and he doesn't say much. But I need to warn you, it can only shoot JPEGs with the zoom feature, and they look like warm garbage out of the camera. After making this YouTube video, I'll probably never use the zoom feature again. It shoots 20 megapixel photos in both JPEG and RAW. You can shoot in 4.3 and 16.9 aspect ratios only. It has focus peaking, but who's pulling focus on their DJI Mavic 3? Are people doing that? I'm not doing that. Maybe I should do that. Okay, baby, let's talk megapixels. The max image size is 5,280 by 3,956. The size isn't everything. ISO range is 100 to 6400 for both video and photo. You get 5K up to 50 frames per second, and in 4K you can get 60. Okay, addendums part 1. We are already in this portion of the video. So we need to address the room in the elephant, I guess, and that's that this drone has a Hasselblad camera inside it, which is a big deal objectively, but the problem is it's kind of half camera upgrade and also half marketing angle. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hasselblads are, famous brand known for their incredibly quality film cameras. Cool, that's fine. But we as people who buy these cameras from these companies, we just need to know when they're hitting us with an angle. And that's the Hasselblad thing. The drone does have a separate slow motion mode where you can get 4K and 120 frames per second. But trust me, it's never a good sign when you have to go into a camera's menu system to access a special 120 frames per second slow motion feature. Fucking Canon cameras. Battery life is pretty good too. It's listed at 46 minutes with 40 minutes of hover time. The drone does have a bunch of creatively fun flight modes that you can go into to make some unique images. To be honest, none of them have any commercial value. except the hyperlapse. I'm kind of past the time lapse and hyperlapse fixation phase, but these hyperlapses look pretty cool, and I'm gonna really try and integrate them into some of my commercial work if possible. Okay, addendum part 2. I think I forgot to mention what's probably the best part about this drone, and it's a pretty simple thing, and that's the fact that the camera can tilt up. So the drone I had before this, the Phantom 4 Pro, the camera could tilt down, but it could never actually tilt up past level. And this maybe sounds like a small thing, but the fact that this camera can tilt up while moving different directions makes for some really, really cool shots. Now, let's talk about flying this bird. In my opinion, there's 2 huge things that make flying this drone awesome for artists. Number 1, the ability to toggle between 3 speeds on the controller. You have the option to fly in Cine, regular, or sport mode, with Cine being the slowest. This is basically like a 3-speed gear shift, and it's beautiful. You can put the drone in sport mode to fly your long distances fast, regular to cover short distances, and once you get into position, execute your shot, throw it into Cine mode, and roll. It sounds like a lot, but it's kind of like a vehicle stick shift. Once you get the hang of it, you can actually get places faster. Number 2 is the ability to toggle between photo and video mode on the controller with the press of 1 button. Professionals know just how cash money this is. Even with the perfect, mirrorless camera, you'll always struggle to shoot both video and photo at live events simultaneously. And with the Mavic 3 controller, you can switch between modes without losing your camera settings. This seems like a small thing, but it's actually a game changer in the amount of content that you can get in one flight. The drone also has 8 gigabytes of internal storage just in case you forget your micro SD card, like literally all photographers do at one point in their careers. I should mention the obstacle avoidance system because everybody likes talking about drone crashes. Even though I never crash my drone because my powers have no limitations, the drone sensors not only sense the obstacles, but the drone will avoid them, but continue flying its path. That makes for some interesting results. One side note, at this time of recording, DJI is selling their Fly More combo with the Mavic 3 for $2,850 US. I didn't buy it because it was out of my budget, but it's definitely worth considering if you have the extra money. It's not one of those weird Amazon camera bundles where they try and sell you the camera that you want, but also 15 junk accessories. I mean, to be honest, everything in that Fly More combo is stuff you're gonna end up buying anyways. At the very least, it's a drone, so you're gonna have to buy more than 1 battery, and at the time of this recording, they're about $200 US. I ended up buying 2 more batteries myself, and the multiple battery charger station thing. If you really do have too much money and need to spend it, I would recommend just buying the smart controller. That way you never have to plug your phone in. So, what sucks about this drone? Well, not much, but not nothing. If you didn't notice from the photos, the camera is really too sharp. I'm gonna eventually buy some ND filters, and that should really help with that problem. Addendum part 3. This video is actually taken me so long to make that in between the time I actually bought ND filters for my drone. I purchased this 4-pack of ND filters from Amazon, made by DJI. I got ND 4, 8, 32, and 16. ND filters are like sunglasses for your lens. What is a bad miracle? The controller doesn't seem to charge my phone consistently like my old Phantom 4 one did. Also, my old drone was big and white, and it was easy to see, especially from far away. This drone is obviously small and dark, and it's kind of hard to see, especially among trees and in shadows. Okay, addendum part fucking 4, I think. I apologize. I keep thinking of things for this video, and this is a strategy that's working so far really good. Anyways, last thing. I finally got a case for my drone, which again, kind of seems like a small thing, but I don't know, I'll give you a pro tip here. Your favorite piece of camera gear, whether it's your actual camera or a drone or a gimbal or a tripod, the use of that thing doesn't fully come together until you have a case for it. Let's wrap up and talk about who should buy this thing. I think the DJI Mavic 3 makes the most sense being flown commercially for mid-budget production companies. It packs down really small for travel work, and its image should pair nicely with whatever camera you're shooting with. It takes like 2 minutes on set to get this thing in the air, and with the sensors being as good as they are, it's kind of hard to crash this thing. I think its price range kind of excludes it from the hobbyist group though. And I don't even know if I'd buy it from my real estate shooting gangsters out there. DJI's consumer camera market has long since undercut its own higher budget products, so their rising camera costs are getting less and less justified. You don't need to be buying drones that your clients can't afford to pay you to fly. And that's my time. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, or I'll drop a rattlesnake from my drone onto your house tonight. Oh, you like your chances against a rattlesnake? Well, so does a snake, and guess what? He volunteered. So just subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll do it though.